Hello. Good evening. Am I audible? Would you like me, Arif sir?
Yes, sir. Audible. Yes, sir.
Audible. Thank
Yes, sir.
you. Arif sir, I think Trivedi sir has joined. Trivedi sir, welcome, sir.
Hello, this is Vilas Telegram Service Authority. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. Just a mic check. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
Um,
You're audible. Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Please let me know if somebody is speaking or not.
We have not started yet.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Sinha, welcome. Good evening.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Welcome, welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, fine. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
So, good evening, participant. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you very much for joining.
Good evening, sir.
Girish sir, welcome sir. Girish sir has joined. Yes, Girish sir, good evening sir, welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll make you. Yes, sir. I'm doing, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Hardik. You made me speechless.
Sorry, sir. Actually, the invitee's link
I
was shared
understand.
with
I
you.
understand. I
So I'm
understand.
so sorry.
No, no, no.
Sir,
I
good
was
evening
just
sir,
joking. Good evening, Kalpesh.
Good evening, thank you sir. Thank
Good
you for
evening,
joining sir.
Pooja. Good evening.
Thanks, sir. So, shall we start?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. We can start. Yeah.
Can check with Trivedi sir, if it's available or not sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Trivedi,
we should wait. I think he has joined. I can
yes sir,
see
he's
the
there.
name separately. Yes, sir is there. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir is here.
So, sir.
Nice meeting you, sir. After a week.
Yes, sir.
Last week we met on campus.
Yes,
Today
sir.
we are meeting virtually.
Hope all are doing well.
Good, sir. Good. Okay. So,
Shall we
Dr.
start sir?
Hardik, we can start. Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Law is not just a set of rules, but a tool to empower the voiceless and bring justice to those who are in need. Evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to the fifth edition of online short time course on legal aid and allied laws, organized by Pro Bono India in collaboration with Pro Bono Club of GNLU Gandhinagar. My name is Pooja Lakshmi, and I'm currently an LLM student at GNLU. I've been part of Pro Bono India for a long time, working closely for course coordination and various initiatives. It is an absolute pleasure to be here today as a part of this remarkable initiative that empowers individuals with a legal knowledge and tools to make a real difference in the society. I'm genuinely excited to see everyone so passionately joining here, bringing minds together for this course, and I believe that this will be an enriching experience for all of us. We are thrilled to have you all join us for this session, which is aimed to provide an in-depth understanding of several critical legal issues, including the Right to Information Act, PIL, Consumer Protection Act, ADR, and rights of the victims. These are vital topics that are important to our society, and we hope this course will help all of you gain practical knowledge and insight into these areas. Before we begin, let me take a moment to express our gratitude to all the esteemed dignitaries present today and to everyone who has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this course possible. So your support and the efforts that I have put together is well appreciated. And without further ado, I would like to start with the program. I would like to now invite Kalpesh sir, the founder of Pro Bono India, to address the gathering and share the insights. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Pooja Lakshmi. Respected R.A. Trivedi sir, respected Professor S. Santa Kumar sir, Dr. Sneha Sharma from Department of Justice, and then Professor Girish sir, and then my colleague Dr. Hardik Parikh from GNLU Pro Bono Club. So this program, like we started this journey in 2020. So we were discussing, like we are involved in so many legal aid activities for quite good number of years. So we had discussion, brief discussion with Dr. Hardik, and then we chalked out this particular program. And then starting with legal aid, the PIL, right to information, rights of the victim, human rights, ADR, consumer. So at least we have planned 15 plus sessions in different programs. So and then after GNLU also, like various other institutions, for example NLU Punjab, NFSU, and then last year NLU Ranchi also, they joined in this program. So altogether this is including this fifth edition. So far I think close to 7,000 plus registrations are there, and then from all over the India, I would say. And the age, I would say, like 12th pass students are also there. They'll be joining law school soon. And then maximum age, I would say 60 or 65. I was just checking the registration form. And then I have seen there are people from the non-law background also. So I remember one teacher is there, school teacher from, I think, Hyderabad. So he is running consumer clinic at its school level. So you can imagine it's not necessary like as a law school we have to do these kind of activities. But again, and there are many success stories I have seen. People have approached me and then, sir, because of this particular program I filed this particular complaint or PIL or make a complaint to NHRC, HSRC, or various other institutions. So that was the idea, right? And then you will find out I have seen like while talking to all the participants in last 3-4 years. So they like, this cannot be taught in curriculum because we have very tight curriculum and UG PG level also. So that was the idea, and then successfully we are running this particular program. And then most people I have not, like for example, I'm sure like none of the state have been left, I would say, by this time. And then I hope participants will got a lot of insight on legal aid and allied laws, and it will help you. I got message a day before yesterday, sir, ये certificate से क्या होगा, right? So I have not answered yet. But again, this life changing experience, as a recently might have heard a statement by Chief Justice of India, one for your kitchen and one for society. That was a statement made by Chief Justice of India. So while addressing the advocate records, recently selected, so he appealed to all the AOR to do something for the society. So that was a great statement, I would say, after statement made by Justice U Lalit, like the just legal aid to poor should not be poor legal aid. So that was a great statement in the field of legal aid. So thank you very much all the dignitaries, sir, for joining this particular inauguration session and program. And I hope participants will get insight from the legal, how it can bring a change in the society with the help of this particular tool. So thank you very much once again, and look forward to see you in interesting discussion. Over to you, Pooja Lakshmi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for addressing the versatile group that we have. Now, next we have Professor Dr. Girish, sir, Professor of Law and Head of Academics Affairs at GNLU, who will now address us. Over to you, sir.
Respected Director, sir, respected Chief Justice, Sri Judge, Sri R.A. Trivedi, sir, and our colleague, Dr. Hardik Parikh, and Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta, founder, Pro Bono India, and all the respected participants and organizers. On behalf of Gujarat National University, I extend a warm welcome to all of you for this particular short-term course on legal aid, public interest litigation, Consumer Protection Act, alternative dispute resolution. So all of you know that these areas possess a great significance in a continuous education, and especially as a lawyer or as a law student, you need to have a greater understanding of this particular area. On the one hand, we tried to achieve fairness in administration. So that fairness in administration, how can be achieved in Right to Information Act? On the other hand, the scope of public interest litigation. And that scope of public interest litigation, hope that this particular session will take you to different facets of public interest litigation, whereby the concept of locus standi and the concept whereby the expansion of public interest litigation, how now limited because of a constitutional bench decision. A 7 judges bench of the Supreme Court has limited or its scope, and even the development of a concept known as socio-action litigation. So the different facets of this public interest litigation will be explained to you, and you will have a great experience in listening to the speakers in this program. Also, you have a wonderful subject known as Consumer Protection Act. In fact, this is an area whereby the interest of consumers are being protected at the grassroots level. People very much looking on this particular alternative mechanism.
There is a technical glitch.
Yes. Professor Girish, are you there?
I believe Girish sir had a lot of words to say, but due to
Yes.
technical glitch, we'll move to Shanta Kumar sir. We are privileged to have you, sir. Sir is
Thank
the director
you.
of GNLU, and sir will give the welcome address.
Thank
and
you.
when sir is back, we'll have.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Thank you. Distinguished Chief Guest, Shri Arya Trivedi, Principal District and Session Judge, and also the Member Secretary of Gujarat State Legal Services Authority. My colleagues, Professor Girish and Dr. Hardik, and good friend, Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta, and my dear student, Pooja Lakshmi, all the other distinguished participants, esteemed faculty members, and dear students. I deem it a privilege to join all of you today to introduce to all of you a topic that lies at the heart of our justice system, the importance of legal aid. And this edition, the 5th edition, also has the practitioner's approach to certain fundamental legal frameworks, such as the Right to Information Act, the Public Interest Litigations, Consumer Protection Act, ADR mechanisms, etc., etc. As students of law, we know that legal aid is an essential pillar of justice. We also believe firmly that access to justice is not a privilege, it is a right. The true test in any democracy is whether justice is available not only to those who can afford it, but to every individual, regardless of their economic or social status. And actually, the legal aid mechanism bridges this gap, ensuring that legal representation is not limited to a select few who can afford it economically, but is accessible to all. The Legal Services Authority Act 1987, which you will be discussing it during this program, actually reinforced this commitment by institutionalizing free legal aid services in India. But the success of legal aid depends not only on government efforts, but also on the dedication of all legal practitioners, like what Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta was quoting the Honorable Chief Justice of India, that it requires a dedication by legal practitioners. As the Chief Justice of India used this expression, one for your kitchen and one for the society. So they should do at least 50% of their work pro bono. That is what the Honorable Chief Justice of India mentioned. Therefore, the success of legal aid will not only depend only on government agencies, on legal services authorities, but it is completely dependent on the dedication of legal practitioners, the law students in law schools, and various other civil society organizations, or what we call them as NGOs. So in this context, I really appreciate this ongoing initiative of Pro Bono India and Pro Bono Club of GNLU for organizing this 5th edition of this short-term course. I must also appreciate the organizing committee of this course for including the practitioner's approach to key legal framework, such as the RTI Act, the Consumer Protection Act, etc. Now, we all know that RTI Act 2005 is a revolutionary tool that empowers citizens by making governance transparent and accountable. As practitioners, it is our duty to guide citizens on how to file RTI applications effectively, how to challenge denials, and how to use the law to expose corruption and inefficiencies. So the legal fraternity plays a key role in training individuals on their right to information and in advocating for reforms when government agencies attempt to dilute its effectiveness. My request to the organizers, when they speak about this particular topic, right to information, please advise the participants not to misuse the provisions of RTI, which will ultimately result in dilution of the act, the dilution of the purpose for which this act was made if we start misusing those provisions. Next, when we talk of public interest litigations, PILs have actually transformed the judiciary into an instrument of social justice. We all know that. Landmark cases such as Vishaka, MC Mehta cases, all these cases, there are multiple other cases which shows how court can bring systemic change. Legal professionals, with the same thing that I would want to present here, that the legal professionals must approach PILs with sincerity, ensuring that they are used for genuine public welfare rather than personal or political gains. Speaking of Consumer Protection Act, again, Consumer Protection Act, I want to emphasize, is a lifeline for consumers, providing faster and more efficient grievance redressal. With the rise of e-commerce, misleading advertisements, and unfair trade practices, consumers often find themselves helpless. Especially, I want you guys to discuss about the role of social media influencers. And now I see everyone on Instagram, if they have some 1,000 followers or subscribers, they start claiming themselves to be influencers, and then they start involving themselves in misleading advertisements. That is something which I think I would request all of you to deal with it. So we need to educate every consumer about their rights and remedies under the law. I'm again pointing out that please inform the people about how they should not become, as an influencer, a party to misleading advertisements. Next is, I think, one other important area that you will be discussing this is the ADR mechanisms. And we all know that the backlog of cases in Indian courts is a growing concern. It's a shared concern by all of us. ADR mechanisms such as mediation, arbitration, and conciliation offer quicker, cost-effective, and amicable solutions. So all of us must promote ADR as the first step in dispute resolution rather than litigation. So training in mediation and arbitration should become a part of every lawyer's skill set, ensuring that disputes are resolved efficiently without burdening the courts. I would request Dr. Kalpesh to come out with one more exclusively program on mediation. We need to train a lot of people about the importance of settling matters through mediation. So when I look at the way forward, I only see that as legal practitioners, as legal academic, and as policymakers, we must work towards strengthening legal aid programs, raising awareness about fundamental rights, and ensuring that laws serve the people effectively. Law schools are already doing a lot of things by incorporating practical legal education, legal aid clinics, and ADR training as integral part of their curriculum. Young lawyers should be encouraged to devote a portion of their practice to pro bono work. This is what was reiterated by the Honorable Chief Justice of India. So in conclusion, I only wish to submit that justice must not be the privilege of the powerful. Instead, it must be the shield of the weak. Legal aid and the proactive engagement of practitioners in all these legislations are crucial in ensuring that the legal system remains a tool for empowerment rather than oppression. As we move forward, let us commit ourselves in making justice more accessible, more transparent, and truly for the people of India. Thank you, Professor Hardik and Dr. Kalpesh, for giving me this opportunity, and wish this program all the very best. I'm really excited to see the overwhelming response that this program has drawn. I must appreciate all the participants for sharing their valuable time in learning about legal aid and other legal framework with which we can really ensure access to justice for everyone. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And I hope that whatever you have said, that every that every sentence makes sense to everyone who is attending this program, and by the end of this course, everyone will be able to help poor and make sure that justice reach everyone. Today, we are also pleased to have Dr. Sneha Sharma, Program Manager at Disha, Department of Justice, Ministry of Law and Justice. Ma'am is very keen on addressing about legal aid and has worked a very substantial amount of and devoted time for legal aid. So we are eager to hear your thoughts on importance of legal aid, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And first of all, many congratulations to JNLU and Pro Bono India for organizing this certified courses which we are having for this from March 1st to 15th March. So first of all, a very good evening to Director JNLU, Professor Dr. S. Shantakumar, our Professor Dr. Girish ji, Kalpesh Gupta ji, Hardik ji, and our distinguished guest for today, Member Secretary JNLU. So on the behalf of entire Ministry of Law and Justice, I am extending my wishes to the entire team, organizing team, for having this course. And I must congratulate that under the banner of Pro Bono Club, JNLU is the one who is doing the continuous effort of imparting legal awareness by creating the short-term courses for the people at large. Because what we wanted when we started Pro Bono Club, that there should be a continuous effort, not only the one-time activity by creating a club and forgetting that this is an extracurricular club, it is there in the college. So many congratulations. I'm really very happy because this is the 5th in the row. And whenever I see the reports or messages, because every time Dr. Hardik and Dr. Kalpesh is sending me that what they are doing under the banner, many times I'm not able to respond it, but deep inside, I always appreciate in front of Secretary Justice and wherever I get the forum that JNLU is doing really a very good job under Pro Bono Club. So before you start for this whole certified course today, so just let me enlighten the audience that what we do at Department of Justice and how we have created it, Access to Justice Division. So Department of Justice is implementing a pan-India scheme, namely designing innovative solutions for holistic access to justice in India, called Disha in short, which is a financial outlay of rupees 250 crore for a period of 5 years. So for 5 years, we are having this scheme from 2021 to 2026, and it aims to fulfill the constitutional mandate of justice to the people of India as enunciated under the preamble and Article 39A, 14 and 21 of the Constitution of India. So first time ever Government of India has come up with the scheme, because when you see the Article 39A, there you have the term free legal aid by the terms of legislation or any other. So from other we have created this scheme, because from legislation we already have LSA Act 1987, but there is no scheme per se which talks about access to justice. So Disha scheme is the first approach and first initiative of Government of India to bring an umbrella scheme to create pre-litigation mechanism, pro bono concept, and legal awareness program. So at present, Disha aims to implement its following 3 pan-India initiative. The first one is Tele-Law program. The second one is Nyaya Bandhu Pro Bono Legal Services, under which the Pro Bono Club is having in your law school. The third one is the Legal Literacy and Legal Awareness Program. So our 3 programs are very different from each other. So the Tele-Law program is where the service serves as a digital interface where we connect beneficiary needing pre-litigation legal advice with panel lawyers through video conferencing facilities available at common service centers in Gram Panchayats, or through mobile application, or we have a toll-free number 14454 where people can directly call and get the appointment of lawyer free of cost. So we have also created a new program known as Nyaya Sahayak in aspirational blocks of India. So we have 500 aspirational blocks in India, where we have a person who is going door to door and known as Nyaya Sahayak, who is creating the awareness regarding the legal aid program and the pre-litigation mechanism. So our second program is your pro bono program known as Nyaya Bandhu program. So this is also India's first dispensation framework of pro bono in India, where what we are doing, what you people are doing is all pro bono. So I'm very happy that what we aimed at ministry, that how pro bono clubs will function, JNLU is really an appropriate model that how other law schools should learn that how to take this from from the mind of the curative sort of semblance, that how you are coming up with the courses, you are imparting legal awareness, and the whole thing is pro bono somewhere or the other. Because I know that at present we have only supported law schools for only 2 years, and even after 2 years law school are taking up this course is really commendable, and I really a big applause for the law school and the organizing committee. So under this Nyay Bandhu program, we have the mobile application where the beneficiary under section 12 of LSA Act can connect, and the lawyers who are trying to give service to the country pro bono, they come and the matching happens from our end on the basis of jurisdiction, and the category of people under section 12 gets the lawyer free of cost. And the second mode is pro bono club, which we have established in the country. So as of today, we have 109 law school, including your law school, and majorly we are having the state of Gujarat and the pro bono clubs. And we have 23 high courts, including your high court also as a panel high court under pro bono concept. So at present, we have created a pool of 8,000 not advocates as a pro bono advocate. So we are taking baby steps in creating this, culture of pro bono in India, because it's very difficult to convince lawyer that you do the work pro bono, because where we are fighting for bread and butter, and there we give speeches that do pro bono service, very difficult on their part also. And from ministry, we are trying to bring policy changes where we can support the lawyer at least in miscellaneous charges or miscellaneous expenses which they are bearing out of their pockets. We're trying to bring a policy. Let's see that how far we are going to get that. But by creating at least a movement, we are very, former Chief Justice of India also appreciated our efforts regarding this pro bono, that at least when there is an elevation of judges, or when there is people are taking advocate on record, the experiences which they have given as pro bono should be considered. So the efforts, it is a sort of participatory approach, that where Department of Legal Affairs, which is running the BCI, the whole BCI and the Advocates Act are governed by Department of Legal Affairs. We are trying to have some sort of dialogue that how to bring that every lawyer should at least devote some hours, because in India we do not have a mandate like that, like we already have in South Asian countries, where you have billables and non-billable hours. We are trying to bring that change also, that how we can have this concept, because in law firms people are doing that billable and non-billable hours, where non-billable hours are done in the pro bono services, and there should be a mandate hours by under Advocates Act, that an advocate should devote such much hour in a week or in a month or like that. But we are trying to do that in pro bono club, that at least I know under the able guardianship of Dr. Hardik, that students who are involved in pro bono club are devoting some time of their regular curriculum by going to villages, by doing the community care legal assistance program, and by having such programs. And very rightly put by director that we should have a separate program on mediation, because what we are struggling at ministry, we are having a highest number of pendency of cases, and this should be resolved only through ADR mechanism. We do not have an alternative right now. So how to promote people to go for a mediation, and even a client counseling competition should also happen at a regular interval. Because whenever I go to law school, I tell students that when you serve people pro bono, or when you seek people for legal aid, you will not get the polished clients. You will not get people who will be like, okay, yes sir, no sir. No, they will be like talking facts and raw facts, and they will be very rude at your behavior, because they have suffered a lot and they have come to you as a sort of seeking some relief, that in your eyes जो कहते हैं ना देवता, डॉक्टर को देवता माना गया है और फिर वकील को देवता माना गया है, तो आप में दिखता है उन्हें कि कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें एक राह मिलेगी कि एक जस्टिस की ओर, बिकॉज व्हेन वी सी ना दैट एक्सेस टू जस्टिस डिवीजन या एक्सेस टू जस्टिस इंडिया में कुछ नहीं है. वी आर जस्ट गिविंग अ रोड मैप टू अ सिटीजन. No one can claim that we have given justice. No, we can't claim that. We are just giving sort of a road map कि at least एक बंदा अगर पहुंचता है कोर्ट तो उसे पता हो कि जाना कहाँ है. स्टिल मोबाइल में GPS है, बोर्ड्स अभी भी बहुत कोर्ट्स में नहीं है, कहाँ जाना है. A normal person when they are going to a court, they are not knowing that where they have to go exactly. We do not have some sort of, mechanism where we can literate the citizens that see that if a case has come up, you have to go to certain things for affidavit or notary officer. They don't know. They are like, they are just clueless. But having such program where I have heard that people who are at 65-year age have also enrolled, people from non-legal background, they will be helping more, because the law people will get something or the other in their course, but the non-law people, it is really a blessing for them for having such courses where they can enroll and they get insights about RTI Act, very rightly put by sir, that we every day we face that in ministry we get RTIs on immaterial cases. There is no though merit in the applicant for RTI application, but we take it seriously, because in our ministry and under the PMO, we have to dispose of in a stipulated time, and we have a separate body for looking CP grams, that is a citizen public portal for grievances, and RTI. So we need to take it very seriously, even though those are frivolous applications. But at this point of time, when the people are getting the training on this RTI, they should understand that what is the meaning of RTI, and in what matters they should file the application and they get the information. Because many a time we get the information I will not name the law school. I got the RTI application for certain law school in the pro bono club, that the faculty advisor is doing favor to some or the other candidate. So such type of things is like, okay, you can sort it out. You don't need to file RTI to ministry. But we are not here to see that whether that faculty in charge is doing favors or not. You can sort it at your level. So such type of things are very frustrating on our end also, because we have another set of work and we have to dispose of that, and that too in a stipulated time, and then you'll get the appeal also. So there are so many nuances into it. So whenever the person who is giving a lecture on this RTI, they should make the people understand that what is the importance of RTI and all the acts which are being taken in the whole 15 days course. I'm really hopeful that it will be very beneficial for the participants, and I'm wishing all the best. And yes, let's do it, and let's make it really wanted to see the 6th edition very soon after this 5th edition, and the saga should continue. So all the very best. Thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll definitely get the 6th edition on. So we are extremely honored and fortunate to have Shri R.A. Trivedi sir, Principal District and Sessions Judge and Member Secretary of the Gujarat State Legal Service Authority, as our chief guest today. We are looking forward to sir's inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. Can anyone else make out? Am I audible? This is reaching out. Does anyone can make out? I can start my address. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Sneha Sharma, representing Ministry of Home Justice. Dr. Shanta Kumar, Director GNLU. Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta, Founder of India. Dr. Hardik Pari, Convener GNLU. Participants, students, all those who have joined virtually. I really feel honored to be a part of this virtual session. And it's just the coincidence that it is second occasion that Dr. Kalpesh Gupta has associated me in this Pro Bono India Club movement. Couple of years back, if my memory is not mistaken, Anand Law College has hosted a program on the similar GNLU is proposing, and in that also a short course, I was asked to address the participants about the program hiring and the legal aid scenario.
Sir, sorry for interruption. Sir, your voice is very slow and it's coming like from very distance. If I can request you to just keep mic a little bit near, sir, it would be great, sir.
Is it good now?
Better, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for any inconveniences caused in initial details that I made out. But I was just making out that this is a second opportunity that is afforded to me by Pro Bono India. And a couple of years back, as I said, AN Law College has hosted this program, where also I appreciated the endeavor of encouraging the students and the participants in getting the basic understanding of the law, as well as associating themselves in the any of the projects of their choice. These short courses, as all the earlier speakers have highlighted, actually touches the law and the legal subjects that any common man in a day-to-day could be consciously or unconsciously be associating himself. Now, talking about the legal aid for the reason being, I am acting as a member secretary, State Legal Service Authority since last 3 years. I really feel that this is a most apt subject to be a part of any short-term course that students have been there for the simple reason that situation in India requires a real concern as regards the quality of the legal aid that we have. It is suggested and rightly quoted by former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Yulu Lalit, on 2nd October 2021, while launching the Pan India Legal Awareness and Outreach Program for 45 days, that the important aspect for any democracy is to see that the ethos of the Constitution actually have been there preserved, and whatever has been enshrined in the Constitution has been upheld by the state. Now, while we look in the perspective of the ideal justice delivery system, we find in Article 39A that there has to be ideal justice delivery system, and justice is not to be denied to any person for want of resources by making an act provision of free and competent legal aid. The scenario is as pleasant as it looks to be, for the reason that out of the total litigants that are there in the country, only 1% of them avail free and competent legal. Now, it's not that worthy they can afford the hefty expenditure of a professional lawyer. The concerns are there on the part of the litigants, while he has to make out the choice that legal aid lawyer or the counsel appointed for me, whether would be able to put up my case meritoriously or not. It is in this context that we need actually put up the system from the root to see that not only legal aid is afforded in the system, but it is conveyed to a mass that the legal aid that is offered is absolutely qualitative, at par with the professional lawyers. And once this is done, there will automatically be implication on the part of those litigants who really today are paying hefty professional fees to the lawyers, otherwise are not in a position to afford the same. It is in this direction I would suggest those business persons who are going to deliberate on legal aid about the concept of legal aid defense counsel. This is a late development that has been initiated at the instance of the NALSA, that legal aid defense counsel system be established at every district headquarters for the criminal cases, and lawyers who dedicate their entire time for the legal aid matters. We appointed at 3 tiers: Chief Legal Aid Defense Counsel, Deputy Legal Aid Defense Counsel, and Assistant Legal Aid Defense Counsel, and they sincerely attend the matters of legal. And I am happy to say that in state of Gujarat, since January 2022, in all the districts, we have successfully established this qualitative system of legal aid defense counsel, where the advocates who are appointed are dedicating their entire time for legal aid matters. The quality has improved. The ratio of acquittal in criminal trials has improved materially. The bail applications are successfully processed efficiently. They have been argued, and the ratio of grant of bail in bail application conducted by the legal aid lawyers has also improved subsequent to introduction of this system. The logistics and the infrastructure facility provided to this legal aid defense counsel is also eye-catching. Like public prosecutors, separate chambers are provided to them, capacity building training programs are conducted for them, and I would advise every one of you, the students also, to visit to the nearest courts that you have, the legal aid defense counsel's chambers, have interaction with them, and you will definitely find material change in the qualitative scenario of legal aid. In particularly, I can say with command about the Gujarat. You visit any district, our Chief Justice is absolutely anxious enough to see, as rightly been told by Honorable Mr. Justice Mia Gawai, Executive Chairman NASA, to the effect that while we offer legal aid, we must make it sure that legal aid for poor is not poor in quality. So it is in this context a significant step is taken by introduction of legal aid defense counsel. And another aspect that is there for legal aid to look into while we talk about this is that the consultation to be given pre-litigation. Now it is in this context this course is going to play a pivotal role. It has been rightly said the Calino earlier all legal service authorities had been associated as a part of NALSA scheme with Calino, and successfully many those persons who want legal advice were being provided a bridge by the lawyers who had been there on panel. Similar measure has been taken by NASA by introducing pan-India single toll-free number in form 15100. Now this number is also acting on this measure is also acting on the same modality like Calilo, and we are spreading more and more awareness through our paralegal volunteers in the society that by this you can get a qualitative advice. Efforts by all the agencies is intended to see that unnecessarily a person is not dragged to litigation. If at all he is dragged to litigation, he is given proper counseling, he is given proper advice. And it is in this context, again I am saying that basic understanding of the law is necessary on the parts of those who associate themselves as a legal aid chair or as a paralegal volunteers, about those who voluntarily actually serve as a associate or NGO or PLB to some legal service authorities, or who are otherwise in the field where basic aspects or facets of the law are touched regular. So this way, this course is 100% going to serve its purpose. There are two more aspects to look into, and the speakers have said about the subjects, because nothing more is required to be added. Everything is being done in detail. What legal aid and subject requires to look into, what RTI aspect is required to, what are the facets of the PIA, what Consumer Protection Act requires to be looked into. But my focus is on a different aspect. It is on pro bono. Now, kindly just, it's nothing to look into or not to criticize anything or any stakeholder or something. 3 or 4 years back, as I said, a very mega outreach program was proposed by the Supreme Court of India about legal aid in the name and style Pan India Legal Awareness and Outreach Program. It was intended to see that nationwide exhaustive outreach program is carried out by legal service authorities, making it down who are entitled to legal aid, how they can approach to legal aid, and how legal aid successfully, how qualitative legal aid successfully can be made. While doing so, emphasize was also made that Section 12 of legal service authority is not accommodating everyone. Section 12 is going to be deliberated very soon in the upcoming session that is going to be started. But my say is that it is encompassing those stakeholders who are entitled to a free and competent legal aid. Assuming for the sake of second, a person whose annual income crosses marginally to 1 lakh, theoretically now will not be entitled to free and competent legal aid. That doesn't mean that he is having the means to get a professional law. It is in this context that the advocates must give their services pro bono to those litigants who otherwise are not there in this action but really want support from society. When this program was launched on the 2nd October 2021, NALSA and Supreme Court sought invitation from every state and asked every state that those lawyers who have rendered their pro bono services at the High Court, please ask them to come. We want to felicitate them. I am not exaggerating. Only 2 councils have been there in the entire seminar, and both of them are from Gujarat. Now, in a huge democratic country like India, where the population living below poverty line is, having a chunk of it, when we are talking about something to work for marginalized and the downtrodden people, the societal perspective requires drastically looked into with these aspects that our role cannot be eliminated. We can't leave everything upon the statutory bodies or for those who are indulged to this, but every stakeholder has a responsibility, and rightly Ms. Sharma said to the effect that unless and until this responsibility is taken voluntarily, particularly by lawyers community and those students who are soon going to be a very promising lawyers, they also have to make their minds very clear that at least one case in their professional career every year must be one which is done pro bono, and that only not only the best job satisfaction to them, but system will definitely give the best of blessings to these professionals. It is required. I am there in this particular field. So many litigants who come, they complain that I am otherwise not actually entitled for free and competent claim, but I need this assistance for the reason I am not having the resources and means to go for it. Now, if we are not having the pro bono panel, or the lawyers who come front and say that we are ready to offer the services to the effect, he will not be having any option but to go for the expenditure which he is not otherwise able to afford. So this is one aspect for which I must actually appeal sincerely to all the stakeholders and participants who have joined, the students to change their mindset. Of course, our aim must be to see that we become Kalin Arman, or for that matter, Harish Salve, or for that matter, be a flourishing lawyer. But while doing so, we must have what Mahatma Gandhi said to the effect that while I intend to do this profession, doing a charitable work, I always see that the best satisfaction I get from those cases where on my own I make people happy with the work of charity. So it is in this context, these forces help to change the mindset, to remove the myths that are there, to get the basic understanding of the laws. And these laws, honestly speaking, are really speaking very important in a daily life for a patient of the activities to be done. And in this context, I congratulate Pro Bono India, GNL, and all associated with that, whichever sort of help that from State Legal Service Authority in carrying out these activities, these short-term course also, on behalf of SLSA, I assure absolute support in terms of source persons we want, in terms of guidance we want, in terms of guidelines of the regulations we want to take out whether being done or not. But my sincere appeal to organizers, as Ms. Sharma also said, to the effect that let this be continuing affair. Best part of it is that every stakeholder or participant can actually attend this virtual course. This is having the apt timing for attending the course also. It is encompassing the best of subjects to look into, and most importantly, best resource persons. So, with this, everything has been about the course being shared. I don't want to add it up, and I don't want to be a facade also in initiation of the first session formally, that is scheduled today only. I extend my very best wishes to this particular short-term course. I have got opportunity to associate with many of the events of GNL. Hardik Bhai is doing excellent work as regards the Legal Clinic in GNL is concerned. Dr. Shanta Kumar is a best mentor in having this, and I would advise whichever activities your clinic is doing and you want legal service authorities, help, association, support, cooperation, please take it that we are there in associating ourselves with any of the unique projects that you want to, and we found proud in doing so. Even in this course, if Hardik Bhai wants any assistance, he will be there. Once again, best of luck to everyone. And Alpesh Bhai, I must extend my thanks that I got second opportunity in gracing the event from Pro Bono India, and I wish your good self best of very luck in upcoming future also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We are proud to have, and we are honored to have you, sir, and thank you for the inspiring words. Now, I would like to invite Hardik Parikh, sir, faculty convener of the Pro Bono Club GNLU, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja Lakshmi. I hope I am audible and visible. Esteemed chief guest for today, Sri R.A. Trivedi, sir, Member Secretary, Gujarat State Legal Services Authority. Esteemed Dr. Sneha Sharma, Madam, Project Manager, Ministry of Law and Justice. Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar, sir, Director, Gujarat National University. Professor Dr. Girish R. Sir, Head Academic Affairs, Gujarat National University. Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta, esteemed faculty members, resource person for today, Dr. B.S. Patil, sir, Akshay Trivedi, sir, and dear participants. I, Dr. Hardik Parikh, take this opportunity to extend my vote of thanks for today's inauguration session for the 5th edition of the online short-term course on the legal aid and allied law. My dear friends, we always say that society is changing on a jet speed, and the society which was 20 years before is not available today. And therefore, we are always finding many queries, many concerns, many questions with regard to the implementation of law. With due respect, we always say that we are into the society where there are educated illiterate people available. Why educated illiterate? Because there are many people who learn the academics things, they are having academic degrees. But as far as legal awareness comes into question, there are a lot of uneducation, there are a lot of problems, issues for small matters which can be always taken care. And therefore, I do remember that 2020, when there was a lockdown and Legal Services Committee, I was heading Legal Services Committee from that time, 2020 January. And we had to think that how the legal activities can go on because students were not on campus. And this is the exact time, 2020 March, where after the lockdown, GNLU started the Migrant Workers Assistant Project under the ample guidance of our Honorable Director, sir, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar, sir. At that time, the GNLU identified alumni support, student support, and we actually run the entire campaign that migrant worker can reach out to their respective places. And for that, we got collaboration with other NLUs also and other NGOs also. During that time, one concern was there in the mind that when I was interacting with Kalpesh sir, that can we do something so that we can reach out with the people where we are unable to do physical activities, And then the idea of this first course came into our mind. We put the matter into the desk of our honorable director, sir, and immediately he informed that you should definitely launch the course. And from that time in August 2020, the first edition of this course was launched. There was a legal aid and allied laws. At that time, we were completely curious that whether people will take it into positivity or not, whether students will participate, whether practical people will participate or not. But ultimately, we were actually overwhelmed to see the response that more than 1,000 participants joined at the time. And once the course started, we got wonderful opportunity to invite the resource person from practical things. So the people or the practice professionals who are actually working in the field of RTI, public interest litigation, who actually have filed PL before the various court and got an order. Then the actually advocates who are working in the consumer protection aspect, we could request them and we could bring them everyone together. And therefore, it was a successful first edition which was launched. And therefore, after that, there is a rest in the history. Every time whenever the course is getting launched, we are getting so many positive comments, responses that how to draft RTI, how to draft public interest litigation, consumer complaint. This all things is very, very small things. But there, because there is a new mechanism, and in a law school also, only law students are learning this kind of subject. This is the humble efforts by the GNLU Pro Bono Club as well as the Pro Bono India, and how we can reach out to the needy of the people of the society. And therefore, with the great support of all our authorities, we are able to launch this course. And this is the 5th edition we have launched, and successfully in presence of the august presence of this honorable member secretary, sir, Ms. Neha madam, our director, sir, our head academic affairs, sir, we are inaugurating that. So I am here thanking all the authorities who are helping us. First of all, I would take this opportunity to express my thanks to Sri R.A. Trivedi, sir, Principal District and Sessions Judge, and Member Secretary, Gujarat State Legal Services Committee. Sir is so kind for us that he is guiding us with regard to the legal services matter. Sir, I am very happy to tell that with your support, our students are actually able to visit the Gujarat Sabarmati jail, where there is a legal aid clinic we have opened. Students are going, and paralegal volunteers are also identified, and they are actually involved with the activities. Sir, we are very grateful to you. And even after the office hours, you are here to grace our inauguration. We are highly thankful to you for your presence and to grace the occasion and to say a very inspiring word, sir. Thank you so much. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sneha Sharma, Madam, Program Manager of Ministry of Law and Justice. Madam has unwavering support with GNLU, because from the time when GNLU Pro Bono Club is established, Madam is giving constant held-holding support. At the time Pro Bono Club was established, the Legal Services Committee was already working, but the focus with respect of identifying alumni, identifying people so that we can divert them for this particular application which is launched, and to motivate people to use the app, and at the same time to inform our students that please join this particular application, Nyaya Bandhu application, register themselves, and this whole activity we did. And also we were having honor to welcome Madam on our campus also. And in all the previous programs, she has supported us like anything. And thank you so much for explaining us. And we have also conducted the session earlier when Madam came, explained to our students, and with the consent, with the support of the Ministry of Law and Justice, I am sure that today more than 109 law schools are involved with this activity. So indeed a great achievement, and your tireless work is actually remarkable, Madam. Heads off to you, big salute to you. And I hope that you will keep extending your support to GNLU once again. Thank you so much for joining inauguration today from your busy schedule and also guiding us with respect of this. I cannot forget the support from Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar, sir, who is a mentor, guide, and motivator for us. Because as I told you, the program in form of the migrant worker, legal aid to the needy, extending all the support to the various drives is actually very seamless, helping from this days. And sir is actually indeed into the legal services. He's always inspiring us with wonderful ideas that this is the way you can reach out to the people. And with the great support from sir, we are able to launch many editions. This is only one example of the course, which is a legal awareness. But apart from that, many physical program also we have launched. And whenever there's a fund issue, financial issue, sir is always helping us. So, sir, big thank you to you, sir, for helping us, motivating us. And under your ample guidance, we will definitely work out in a very fantastic manner, and more activities we can include in our bouquet. Thank you so much, sir. Again, I am very happy that Professor Dr. Girish R. sir also is with us today, and for academic support, for all the support with respect of the courses, guiding us about the modules, sir is always extending the help. And a big thanks to Trivedi sir, Sneha madam, Girish sir, and Shanta Kumar sir, that even after office hours, it's almost 7:30, and you are actually in your office. That shows your commitment for the legal services. I wholeheartedly thank you on behalf of entire participation body, sir, that your unwavering support like this till the time the academicians and advocates as well as the officers like you would be there. I'm sure that in India, the legal education, legal aid activities will constantly be there, and many people will get the benefit of that. So thank you so much, sir, for gracing inauguration, motivating us. I'm sure this course will be a very wonderful success. More than 800 participation registration we have received, and many more inquiries are in their pipeline. And I wish that the course will start now with the first session today. Thank you to all faculty members, participants, resource person who have joined today. Without taking much time, I would now hand over to Pooja Lakshmi. That further course of action you can carry on and you can start with the session. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you. Pooja, with your permission, one line of intervention. Yes. Generally, the person proposing vote of thanks doesn't get an opportunity to thank himself. Now, the commendable work done by Hardik, I'm extremely glad that Dr. Sneha Madam had recognized his hard work, and along with Kalpesh and Pooja Lakshmi, you guys are doing a commendable work, and it's our responsibility rather to support you in this noble cause. So keep doing the good work. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's indeed a matter a lot for me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So without further delay, we'll begin the course with session 1 within some minutes. We are confident that this will be an enriching session for everyone. And thank you all once again for being here, and we look forward to the wonderful session ahead.
Good evening, distinguished judges, guests, faculty members, and my fellow participants. I welcome you all to 5th edition of online short-term course on legal aid and allied laws, organized by Pro Bono India in collaboration with Pro Bono Club GNLU Gandhinagar. Today's session is the first and is titled as Law, Society and Introduction to Legal Aid. Benjamin Franklin. Justice says that justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Law is the backbone of the society, maintaining law and order, protecting individuals' rights. Society relies on the legal system to ensure justice and equality. However, the complexity of the law often leaves many individuals struggling to access to their rights. This is where legal aid steps in, providing essential support to ensure that even the most vulnerable member of the society can access justice. Franklin's quotes underscores the importance of collective responsibility in achieving true justice. It reminds us that a just society is one where everyone stands in solidarity with those affected by injustice. By understanding the interplay between law, society, and legal aid, we can work towards a just and equitable society where every individual's rights are respected and protected. Legal aid is not just a service, it is a testament to our commitment to justice and equality for all. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and honored attendees, it is my almost privilege to extend a warmful welcome to Dr. Babu Gowda S. Patil, an accomplished associate professor of law at V.M. Salgaonkar Law College, Goa. For the past 2 decades, Dr. Patil has been a key faculty member contributing to the LLM program, directing the Moot Court Society, and serving on the editorial board of the Salgaonkar Law Review. His dedication to legal education and advocacy for access to justice is truly commendable. As the former director of the Legal Aid Clinic, Dr. Patil has significantly contributed to systemizing legal aid within the institution. He has actively involved in organizing various human rights activities. His research project, funded by United Nations Development Fund for Women and United Nations Development Program, have focused on improving access to legal aid and justice. Dr. Patil's dedication to legal aid and justice is further reflected in his numerous publications, including legal aid services in law schools and its sustainability and indecent representation of women, the legal dimension. We are honored to have Dr. Patil with us today to share his invaluable insight on law, society, and legal aid. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Babu Gowda S. Patil sir to the virtual dais.
Thank you, Akshit. Shall I start the session now? Yes. I hope I'm audible to all of you. And thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Hardik.
Very happy
Thank you
to
very
see
much.
you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, I missed visiting JNLU this Feb. So you made sure that I visit in March, but virtually.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Before I start my session, I just want to have a small interaction with either Hardik or Kalpesh, whoever is available. So because I want to know the audience whom I am addressing to. Kalpesh, can you just give me the outline? What are the background of this audience who are listening to me? Yes. Unmute yourself, Kalpesh.
You are muted. Kalpesh, sir, you are on mute. You are on mute mode, Kalpesh, sir. You have to unmute.
I think he is unable to unmute.
Please unmute, Kalpesh, sir. You are already co-host, so you will be able to unmute. No, you are still on mute. You have to unmute. I think I already sent you a request. No, not about headphone. You have to unmute from computer, sir. Click on unmute button on the bottom tab. Sir, I will brief you, sir. We have got 800 plus registrations. And
Yes.
there are faculty members, there are students of law legal institution, there are practicing advocates, chartered accountants, company secretary kind of officers also, as well as there are a lot of participants who are actually working in the social field. So it's a kind of the mixed group where the participants have joined. Out of them, I think more than 200 are right now live on this particular program. And that's how they are actually participating, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Because see, it's important to notice that whether I'm addressing the teachers or people, professionals from the field, because it looks like it's a mixed field.
Yes,
so
sir. It's a mixed group, but still, as considering the huge number, everyone is not allowed to unmute. But yes, they will write a lot of comments in chat box. So if possible, I request you to have a look to chat box also. So they are interacting in a chat box, sir. So that is a. And in case you want them to be unmute, I will also pass the rights to them so that they can unmute and interact with you, sir.
No, I think chat box would be enough. I'll try
yes,
to.
Sir. They are already writing in message in chat box, so it would be great help, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes.
I hope you can see the PowerPoint. Yeah. So, see, I have been given 1 hour time to interact with you. And as I say, interacting with you, I don't believe in giving a lecture for 1 hour. Now, if you are accessing this session through mobile, then the screen would be too small for you to refer to my PowerPoint, because I'm going to ask few questions. So therefore, I want you to settle down at the nearest place, carry pen and a notebook in your hand, and try to answer the questions which I'm going to raise before you all. So the discussion which I'm planning to hold with you all is basically are having around 9 discussions. And in these 9 discussions, I'll be trying to cover the topic that has been given to me, the law, society, and the legal aid. See, I am a professor of law, and my primary job is to educate the students. And I'm talking about the legal aid. So the primary question that I need to explain or justify before this August gathering is how far I am justified in providing legal aid as a part of legal education agenda. So that's it becomes my primary explanation. So, so going by this idea of okay, 65 plus are with a law or non-law background. Okay, fine. That's not a problem because my issue here is I'm speaking from the point of view of legal education and legal aid. So that becomes my primary focus because I strongly believe that when we try to inculcate or when we try to provide legal aid, one major chunk of people who can effectively provide legal aid are students of law, because we have so many colleges. We have more than 1,300 colleges spread all over India. And even if you take, say, an intake of, say, 200 students or 120 students or 60 students per college, then we have lakhs of students spread all over India. But if you channelize their energy towards legal aid, we can achieve greater results. And what is required here is that the change in that approach. And the change of approach is possible when we have a change in our approach towards legal education. So let me start my today's session with 3 questions. Okay, all of you have to write your answers and post it in your chat box. I'll try to note down as many as possible. The first question which I am raising before this honorable gathering is this. So you may be a teacher or non-teacher, or you may be a student, but when you listen to a teacher, why do you think they are teaching? What they are trying to achieve when they teach? I'm just raising this a very broad question, which answer should be in the form of one word. Why do we teach? So one answer is knowledge, skill, understanding of subject, responsibility, wisdom, awareness, earn money, very good, empower, educate, knowledge transfer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is this? Express, Dhruv? Express, express yourself. Okay, okay, okay. I was thinking about bullet train. Learning, to serve society, passion, to learn more, transformation. Very good answers. Very good answers. I really liked the way the responses has been received. Civilize, educate. Now let me move on to the next question. Okay. Say the major takeaway from your answers is that knowledge, responsibility, and then educating oneself, transformation, and even transfer of knowledge. So these are the certain things. So these are certain things that we need to keep in mind. Now let me move on to the next question. Now tell me, who is your best teacher? Write down the name. I don't want to answer for this, okay? Don't put it in the chat box, but I want you to write on your book just one name. That's a great to see. You consider yourself as the best teacher, but no. Please. I don't want the answer. I want the name of a teacher who has impressed you as a student. You have studied from first standard. You must have done LLB. You must be doing LLB, or you must have done a degree. In this last 15 years of experience, who is your best teacher? See, everybody cannot be best, Mehak. I don't agree with that. I think Shano is finally given. I don't want the name to be told to me. You can write down on your book. I hope you understand my instructions. Yeah. At least the number of responses have reduced. So you all have identified a teacher. I could read Shamnath Bashir in that list, Vibhute, Professor Vibhute in that list. They're all great teachers. They're really, really great teachers. So now let me move on to the next question. I'll give you the reason why I am asking these questions. The next question is why that person whom you wrote down in the paper is your best teacher. Again, I don't want the answer. Please write answer for yourself in your book. Why that person is the best teacher. I want you to write one quality of that person in your book. See, what I'm saying is that I asked you 3 questions and you found out the purpose of education. Why do we teach or why do we learn? And the second one is, yes, Raju, that's a very good way of inspiring a student. And I really like that you found out that quality in your teacher. Second one is, who is your best teacher? And the third one is, why he's the best teacher. Now, I hope you all have wrote down your answers in your book. As finally you have followed my instructions correctly. First time, the answer was supposed to be written in the chat box. Second one is supposed to be written in your notebook. And third one also supposed to be written in your notebook. Now, let me ask you the final question. How many you wrote down knowledge as reason? Please just say yes in your chat. How many of you are written? Manasi has written, Ruby, Kanika, Piyush, Shivangi. So all these people considered that their best teacher whom they came across, knowledge was one of the reason. Actually, not one of the reason. Please remember, Nishta and Abhishek. It should be written in your notebook when I asked what is the best quality of your teacher. Now, I got around 10 to 15 answers that knowledge became their best teacher. But remember, the number of audience here is under the number of audience in this meet is runs into hundreds. What I am trying to tell here is the best teacher is not the one with the best knowledge. A few of the answers which they were giving, making you to think, motivating you, making you understand, encouraging you. So when we talk about these ideas of legal education and the best teacher, the idea needs to change. Now, transferring knowledge is no more, or even now to some extent, creating a knowledge is also no more a difficult job because of artificial intelligence and other things. So yeah, Google can provide the knowledge. It's very true, Raju. So under these circumstances, the role of the teacher changes a lot. And even if anybody, even if the legal education needs to remain relevant in this present world, the present world of artificial intelligence, Google, etc., then we need to explore new type of education. And what is that should be the new type of education? I'll just take you through a few more slides. Now these are the results. These are the results which I had got, but anyway, I'll not go through it because anyway you have given me. The best teacher is the one who teaches from the heart and not from the book. It's a very popular note. I think we should print it out and put it on our table, whoever is a teacher. And if you're a student, print it out and give it to your teacher. So when we talk about teaching from heart, it's very difficult to understand what does teaching from heart means. So this is something which we need to try to achieve. I don't know what it is. Now we have two roles of a teacher here. In one role, there is a jug and there's a glass and the water is getting filled in the glass. In another picture, there is a teacher or a mother or student or a child, and they are doing something together. Now, what is this role of a teacher? So teacher has a knowledge and she is pouring the knowledge into the student, and the water is actually the knowledge passing from one person to another person. Now, this may be a great teacher once upon a time, but today the role of the teacher is to involve a student in the learning process. So you must have saw there's a new chain of shop called DIY, do it yourself. So that should be the approach of a teacher, where the teacher try to explain and make the student to learn from doing it. There is no transfer of knowledge here. What is being transferred here is curiosity, motivation, idea generation. What is being transferred here is the skill, how to do it, why to do it, what to do it. Every aspect of the knowledge is being transferred. So that is what is expected from a teacher in today's world. So how should we do it? So now you all know what is required here. And what we do is basically we lecture. We stand on a stage and lecture. But what is required to be done is not that. So if you consider a meal, okay, lecture is the rice in a meal, but we need pickle, we need papad, we need other aspects. So when we teach, we should not rely only on the rice part of it. We need to include other parts of it also. So therefore, we need to include other aspects of the teaching that's called as clinical teaching. And that's why we need to work on that. So basically, what are required to be done is various different methods of teaching. Now, presently, if you allow me, let me take you through this. Lecture method on top of the pyramid. 5% is retained by the students. And 99.9% of the time, we adopt this style of teaching, where the retention rate is only 5%. If you make the student to read, so that means if you motivate a student and ask him to read, then his retention increases by 10%. But if you do the same lecturing, but by using audio-visual method, means by bringing in various aspects, maybe by PowerPoint and etc., then it increases to 20%. But same lecture, but if you demonstrate the whole process by adopting a role play, by bringing some students to work it out. So when you, okay, yeah, you even showing a movie on a particular area, it increases to 30%. But if you make them discuss, now see, discussion would be like this: give a lecture, give them reading material to read, and then make a discussion in the class. Retention increases to 50%. So when you take up practice and teaching others, then it really jumps to 75 to 90%. Now this is what retention in our lecturing process is. But what we do is we spend 99.9% of time in lecturing. But when you do other things, our value increases as a teacher. And don't you think that other than the lecture, all the remaining things AI cannot do? Neither Google cannot do. It has to be done by the teacher. So therefore, what is required in to make a legal education? So let me move on to the discussion number 2, the desired outcome. Here again, I have a few questions to ask. So let us see. First, let me go through the question number 1. So when you talk about a desired outcome of a legal education, what actually we expect from a legal education? First, to know the law. This is what every college is achieving. Comprehend the law. After knowing the law, we need to understand the law, comprehend it, and apply the law to a particular situation. That means you are, see, you are heard of physical science and applied science, or pure science and applied science. So pure science is basically Newton's theories of law, theories of Newton's theories. Now, application of the Newton's theory of particular situation, understanding how when you fire a gun, how Newton's third law works on that firing of a gun, how when a bullet moves forward, the gun moves backward. That is an application of the Newton's third law. So comprehend law, apply the law, break down and understand the law and application in a particular situation. Recognize and creatively serve the client's interest. Now that's again a very important skill. But do you think that we will be able to do that in our lecture method? And are we doing that? Because client's interest won't be under family law. It may be related to Transfer of Property Act. It may be related to Law of Wills. It may be related to Contract Act. It may be related to maintenance. Various laws will come into picture. But for that purpose, there should be a clear-cut holistic understanding of the law. Are we providing that to the students? Evaluate the strength and the impact of the authority. Now that's again a very important thing, because anytime any layman gets a notice, first fear in his mind is he will be arrested. But as a lawyer, we should understand what are the powers of the authority. Can he do so? Is the notice issued by him is valid? Whether he can he issue a notice? What is the scope of his authority? All these things needs to be understood by that person. So, what is the goal of legal education? A law school or lawyers school? The idea is, are we teaching law or we are creating lawyers? And I feel we should be creating lawyers. We should not remain a law school. We should create lawyers. And that's why legal aid becomes an important part of the learning process. See, if you think, and many of you must be thinking, because there are 39A, Article 39A, that's what was mentioned by one of the speakers in the inauguration, that legal aid is the duty of the state. But I am not state. Why should I do legal aid? When I start law school, my mandate is to provide legal education, not to provide legal aid. Then why should I involve myself in this? Answer is, if you want to convert law school into lawyer school, you have to give them a practical experience. So this I felt many times, and I've spoken about this many places also, that when you start a science college, you need to build a laboratories, physics, chemistry, botany, zoology. Those laboratories provides practical experience to science students. And we are not science students or scientists. We are social scientists, social science students. And for us, society is the laboratory. When we push our students from the classroom into the society, we are pushing them into a laboratory. And in the laboratory, they will have a practical learning, a practical experience. In a medical college, they do housemanship in a hospital. And we do internship, housemanship in the society. Because we go to lawyer's office, we go to the court, and we learn all the tricks of the trade at that place. So legally actually prepones your learning experience. What you would have learned after passing out, you are trying to learn as a student of law. How it can be done? That's a very good experiment that has been done, and I want to share the result of that experiment with you all. So what should we teach is the question. So now the aims of the professional education is to make them to think, and for that we provide basic knowledge, and from there they develop the urge to think and work, to perform, because they are into the profession where their public performance becomes a very important aspect of their professional life. So we have to inculcate skills into them and to conduct themselves in the society. So there we need to inculcate attitude and, more importantly, ethics. So knowledge, skill, and attitude and ethics becomes our primary concerns as a law college, and all three can be done through legal aid. Now imagine, see, when state, we should be social engineers. Correct, Raju. Because see, when I look at a legal aid, the way I look at legal aid is very different from the way the legal service authorities, the way the judges, the way the Supreme Court looks at legal aid. For them, the primary beneficiary of legal aid is the common man from the society. For us, primary beneficiary is the student who is providing the legal aid. The society is a, what should I say, collateral beneficiary. He's not a primary beneficiary, he's a collateral beneficiary. If he is getting benefited, we are very happy about it. But while he is getting benefited, my whole focus is how much my student is learning, how much a student is gaining experience, and how much we are making him into a complete lawyer. How much of sensitization I'm trying to put in. Because one of the major problem with our legal, I think you'll get that slide. One of the major problem with our legal education is we create smart people without purpose. And to inculcate purpose into them, the legal aid is the best method. So these are the certain things we have to keep in mind. So legal profession is really different from other. The answer is yes. And the additional requirement is social sensitization and social service orientation. This is a very important requirement. And I must say that the legal aid is very important. And one more reason why legal aid is very important. When you ask a question, what comes to your mind when you say a lawyer? These are the answers I got. And these are the answers given by the law students from different colleges, wherever I went to deliver the lecture. Look at the red point. Liar, no ethics, hired gun, cheater, money expert. But these are all negative image about a lawyer. Now, how do you change this image? Where as a legal aid, when you go and provide legal aid, definitely some of these red things becomes green. Justice provider, social reformer, law reformer, social engineer, intellectual. So that's what a legal aid can do. So now coming to the next one. So let us try to understand the gap between the classroom and the courtroom. So what we do in the classroom and what happens in the courtroom, there's a gap. Let us understand the gap and try to build the gap between the two. So let me ask you the question number one. Again, here, as the gathering is a mixed gathering, I am not expecting an answer to this question, but you just think about it. The opportunities available for a law graduate is immense. From judge, lawyer, that's the existing ancient opportunities for a law graduate. Now it has gone on to become various other aspects in the legal profession. And I had an opportunity of meeting one gentleman in Delhi, and he has started an entirely new branch as a law graduate. He's working as a law advisor to a member of parliament, and he's a professional. So that means he's not employed by the member of parliament. He will be advising to different parliamentarians. So whenever they are working on certain things, whenever they ask, they want to raise a question in the parliament and they want to submit some private bill in the parliament, he would be working for them. And he has an office. So look at the opportunity. What I'm trying to tell is opportunities are unlimited. It's only you have to open your mind and think. So this man is already serving to two member of parliaments from Rajasthan, and he is from Madhya Pradesh. So that means people want the legal services. They need. And he's saying that whenever they ask, I provide them the actuals. And based on that, they work. And then they present their submissions to the parliament. But second question is more heart-touching. Are we creating these opportunities? Are there immense? But whether our law graduates can grab these opportunities. Because as a student of law, we are more worried about clearing the exam. We are more worried about achieving good grades. And how do we achieve those good grades? By mugging up the answers and writing in the exam. But whether that is what is required in this profession, definitely not. And that's the gap between a classroom and the courtroom. Time, energy, money is spent by the law college in making them professionals. Is truly we are making them professionals? Now that's again a major doubt in our mind. Now, when we are not giving a desired outcome, how do we narrow the gap? And how do we do that? So that comes with the question that what we do in the class, whether that helps them in courtroom performance. Because what we do in the class is we are providing, yes, just teach theories. What we provide in the classroom is an academic discourse. Now, just again, 2 minutes I'll take of yours. If I ask a question, artificial intelligence is good for the society. There would be 10 people saying yes and 10 people saying no. You chose the side. But lawyer will never have that luxury of choosing the side because the client choose the lawyer. The moment a client comes and tells, sir, a case is filed saying that AI is bad for the society, I want to defend against that statement. So that means he has to say AI is good to the society. Now, are we giving that kind of training to the students of law, where we cut down the choice and push them to think from one side only? No, what we do is we do an academic discourse. So AI is good for this point, it's bad for this points, but that doesn't serve the purpose because you are a lawyer. You have to take the side. You have to research and defend against a particular side. So how do you remove that choice which is available to the parties, which is available to the students? Legal aid is the method. I'll just tell you how to go about it. So academic rigor of class doesn't serve the purpose. Theories learnt in the class has a very limited correlation. How do you reconcile classroom and courtroom is a big question that we need to work on. So what we do in the college is memorize But what is required is analytical thinking. There again, we draw blank. What is required, what we do is unidimensional problem solving method. Means we give a situation and we ask them to apply for one section and solve it. But never it is in life unidimensional. It's always multidimensional. We have less or no interdisciplinary approach, and maybe because of the age of the teacher, because the teacher is a youngster and they have studied only one area and they teach from that point. But what is required is interdisciplinary approach. Interdisciplinary approach is basically now tell me how do Hindu law became a law? Because in the ancient time, there was nothing called Hindu law. It was always custom. The local customs were ruling the whole thing. Even today, you see that every district, when you pass through one district to another district, you see different customs prevailing. But now we have a Hindu law. Where it originated? For that, we need to study the sociology. And who teaches that sociology thing? Because when Britishers came, they felt that they need to introduce court system. And when they introduced the court system, they had a difficulty in understanding the, so they called Brahmins and Maulvis and Muslim law, Hindu law, they tried to implement. But the Muslim law is much easier because it's based on a book. But these Brahmins, they could not find one single source. So they sat down and wrote a whole Hindu law and they made it into a law, wherein always that's what we call it as a Shastric law. But actually what was existing in India was a customary law. So we lost customs in favor of Shastric laws because to bring a uniformity. Now, this is supposed to be your first class in a Hindu law. That's where you learn through interdisciplinary approach. So when we talk about narrowing the gap, compartmentalization of teaching is a bad approach. We need to bring all laws together and deal with the problem. But that's again a big task for a teacher to do. But it is easy to do. What is required here is you have to read a lot. What is important in law schools may not be important to a profession. That's correct. Memorizing is not at all important for the profession. You cannot win the case by surprising the other party because the other party will always ask for time. And when you ask for time, time is granted and your surprise is over. So academic success does not ensure professional excellence. Now, this is quite commonly said and commonly proved also that academic success doesn't ensure professional excellence. For that, we require entirely different set of skills. So the problem are this: no practical training, no soft skill training, no exposure to community, no community engagement, and even if you are doing simulation exercises in the class, those simulations have very limited scope, because if you create a simulation where you tell that 20 lakh rupees is at stake, they know that whether they win or lose, 20 lakhs is not going to change the hands. So you have to create a pinch, then only the simulation works. The pinch should be, say, it can be from 100 rupees, but there has to be a certain pinch. They cannot take things lightly. But if you actually walk into community and take up their issues and fight it out, then the stakes are high. It is no more a simulation, it's a real case. Soft skills, yes. The soft skills here I'm talking about is the most of the success of legal profession rely on these soft skills. Soft skills starts from communication. How do you communicate? And the soft skill is about drafting letters, oral communication. How do you speak on phone call? How do you present yourself? How do you dress yourself? All these are the soft skill training that you have to undergo. because people assess you by looks first and then they listen to you. So they should not make up their mind in advance. So what happens when all these are failed, all these skills set are failed? What is the impact on the student? Longer incubation. So they continue to work under a senior advocate for a very long duration because they don't have a courage to start their own. Longer training of understanding the intricacies of the practice. Over reliance on the senior lawyers. And again, this is here comes the problem. When we make students rely overtly on the senior lawyers are not trained to bring a proper professional into existence. So they observe, they learn. There is no systematic learning process that happens in the senior lawyer. It's basically you have to sit and observe. You have to take up the work and do, get scolded and do. So all these things are trial and error method where you waste a lot of time. That's what I was trying to tell, that legal profession is not equipped to give a systematic training. And professional evils like faulty interview techniques, faulty approach to the profession, unethical behavior, all these things which seniors had inculcated or from somewhere, it will be passed on to the junior because there is no systematic way of assessing what to learn and what not to learn. So who has to bell this cat? Bar Council is a professional body and not an educational body. So therefore it won't be able to help us out. Bench is already filled with so much of work. They will not be able to help us out. Students are not very serious about the studies, especially when it comes to learning the skills, because they are more worried about the exam and scoring in the exam. So they get a license and they have only license to practice, but whether they're really able to practice. So how do you address this? Now here I come to my topic of legal aid as the method of training the students. So here my approach is two approaches. One is the how this clinical legal education helps, but I'll skip this because I'll take you to legal aid directly because there are not many teachers in this meet. So I'll take you to the next discussion, that is skill discussion. Now, how do you make a good lawyer? What are the skills required to be a good lawyer or a great lawyer? So if you ask that, now I have made the 13 skill list. Now, if you look at the list, there is interviewing, factual investigation, communication, listening, language, legal analysis, legal reasoning, legal research, counseling, problem solving, competent representation, resolving ethical dilemmas, litigation, IA and ADR techniques, drafting. There's 13 skills are there. Now, I'll go back to the question which Manasi raised. Now, out of all these skills, there are soft skills in this list. The soft skills are third one, that is communication. Fourth one, listening skill. Fifth one, language. Then eighth one, counseling. These are all soft skills. You may not be very good in with the knowledge of law, but definitely you are very good. 3, 4, 5. Yes, great work. Thank you. So when you look at these things, these are not connected with the knowledge of law. These are connected with your skills of lawyer. Now, how do you inculcate these things? So there are various activities which the college does. Now let me pick up one randomly. Okay, let me pick up language as a random pickup. Please remember, I just picked up random. Whether legally, if you actually meet somebody from the society, talk to that person. Try to understand his legal problem. Try to collect the information about the legal problem. What are the skills that you are learning from this? First thing, you are learning interviewing that person. Correct, because you're talking to that man. And you conduct a factual investigation because he tells 100 things about 100 problems about his life, but you're not concerned with all 100. So you have to streamline his discussion to one specific incident and factual investigation. While doing that interviewing and factual investigation, you're developing your communication skill. You're developing your listening skill. Yes, non-verbal communication, that is where the clients open up and talk to you. When you have a strong non-verbal communication. And I don't know, some people just really make people to open up. Yes. Then legal analysis and legal reasoning, we'll keep it last because we are not expert in that. I'm just a student. I can't do legal analysis. I can't do legal reasoning. But I can do 1 to 5. 7 I can do, but not now. I'm sitting with the client. Counseling. 8. Counseling is again a very difficult part of the interview process because here you are trying to tell him how to solve the problem. So that's again not my cup of tea. So 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll keep it aside. Competent representation, no, we can't represent. We are just a student. We are just a teachers. We can't do it. Resolving ethical dilemmas, yes, definitely I can deal with. If at all there are any ethical dilemmas, I can handle it. Litigation ADR techniques not applicable. Drafting not it. So now what I have done, when I met a client, I covered 1 to 5. Now from this fact sheet, I'll go to my teacher or my senior advocate where I'm doing internship. So when I sit with that senior advocate or the teacher, I explain the whole thing. They will tell me what to do. So now I start with the legal research. 7 covered. Then I'll do the legal analysis and legal reasoning with the help of the senior advocate or with the help of the teacher. So 6, 7 is covered. With that 9 is covered because I solved the problem. Then competent representation. Okay, 9 is covered. Then I'll go back to the client and do the counseling. 8 is covered. So 1 to 10 is covered by a single client. If one client comes, so let us say one client comes in your student life, that's more than enough. Because handling client is not easy, especially when you are an youngster. Yeah, senior will handle it easily because of his gray hair and pot belly. There's a kind of overpowering image would be created in the client's mind. But not an youngster. Youngster, they bully the youngster. But in spite of that, he has to get all these things. So then, after doing all these things, if the senior says that let us make a representation in a court or let us make an application to a department, then 13th is covered. That is drafting technique. Then we can have ADR technique here. So therefore, effectively, we are covering except 10. We can cover all skills required by a law student. So legally is the best teaching technique. So these are the certain things which I listed. But what I'm trying to tell here is instead of doing multiple activities, we can do it with one simple activity. So expectations from the legal education, if you look at that, this is what I had told, which is written in a Carnegie report. Law schools create smart people without purpose. And as I said, my college, VM Sagamkar College of Law in Goa, we run many legal aid cells, and all these are off-campus legal aid cells. They operate in the community. And one such legal aid cell is the Sukor legal aid cell. And this Sukor legal aid cell is actually semi-urban area. It's a satellite town of Panjim. So this Sukor when they went for a campaign from house to house, they were compelled to make this observation that we have been all the way to moon and back, but we have a trouble of crossing the street and meet the neighbor. Was that was the level of knowledge about their own neighbors. So this is this kind of disconnect that exists among the society. So keeping these things in mind, now let me come to the elements of legal aid that we do in our college. Because Carnegie, when he is an American, when he wrote a report, he said there are 7 ways we can provide legal aid. A law college can provide legal aid in 7 types. These are the 7 I have listed here. Legal representation is one, where we have no right to represent them. But my college does the legal representation. We represent the clients in SPCA. SPCA is State Police Complaints Authority. We represent the clients in Consumer Commission, because we have got hold of a judgment where they say the next friend can appear before the Consumer Commission. He need not be a lawyer. So we use that judgment and we are appearing from long time. And every time when president of the commission changes, he objects and he rejects appearance. And then again, we come back and try to convince that person. We appeared before State Human Rights Commission. We have appeared before Disability Commissioner. So why do you fight for right of appearance before the court? Yeah, when it comes, let it come and we'll utilize it. But till that time, that cannot be an excuse for us for not doing legal aid. Legal awareness. Legal awareness is one area where law colleges are doing a lot of work. But one problem with all this legal awareness work is there is no follow-up feedback or follow-up research. So when we do one program, whether the benefit has reached the beneficiary or ultimate beneficiary, nobody studies. We go, we deliver lecture, we create awareness, and we come back. And we are proud of our work. But that proud feeling is misplaced. Exactly the way I showed that pyramid, you remember? In that pyramid, when you give lecture and we come back, sit in the staff room with a lot of pride, that lecture was great. And 5% is the retention of the students. Legal advice. This is one area where we can really work. But to give legal advice, there should be somebody seeking the advice. And who will come asking for your advice? Only if you have built an image about your legal aid work. Then only the people will come asking for advice. So till that time, you have to involve yourself in legal awareness. 4th one is the paralegal services. Now that's where you can really create a very good image in the society. See, what we did, the off-campus approach, what we did is when we went on building social welfare, implementing social welfare schemes. There are multiple schemes operating in Goa. And we found there's one scheme which is very simple and there's not much pressure on the government also, that is called as senior citizen card. So if you get a senior citizen card, you have a different line in the bank, you have different line in booking tickets in the train, you have concessions in the train, all these benefits you get. And none of them are burdening the state government. State government is left and right, we're ready to give the senior citizen card. And we went on making these cards. And every year there will be a new set of senior citizens joining that bandwagon, because every human being living in India is a potential senior citizen. Either you are a senior citizen or you have potential to become a senior citizen. So it's a never-ending process. So we have done Dayanand Janadar Yojana scheme, because all these filling a form, collecting of documents, approaching the concerned department, and the department asks if this should be notarized, this should be attested, doing all those requirements and submitting and getting that card and handing over is such a, I think, Now all the youngsters must be using this word, satisfaction. When you watch a video, a reel in Instagram, they say so satisfying. So you'll get that satisfaction when you do this paralegal services. So when you conduct legal awareness, that is second one, and the fourth one, paralegal services, you get clients seeking your legal advice, and that advice can be either first or fifth. That is, yes, very true. Actually, there are disabled peoples are called as invisible minority. There are minorities, but these are invisible minority because we don't see them. And that was one of the major challenge which I faced when I told that funds should be kept aside for persons with disability. The DC asked, do you see anybody on the road? Why you want to make the pavements, the footpath disabled friendly? I said, you don't see them because they are not friendly. They are confined to their home because they can't come out. You give the facility, then they will walk. So that's the problem of insensitization or insensitivity towards an issue. Public interest litigation is again one very important area where we can really do good work, provided we should look into the locality of your college. So if you are located in Ahmedabad or if you're located in the capital city, then you can definitely start public interest litigation because High Court will be reachable. Promoting alternative dispute resolution and law reform. A law reform is one thing which every law college should be involved with. Pick up a pending bill, discuss, or send a recommendation. I had an opportunity of discussing Mediation Act when it was in a bill stage and sent the recommendation. And you know, the system works so well that the moment if you're, I may accept or reject your recommendation, but your name gets noticed or put up in the following recommendations were made. It would remain as a record. So every law college, pick up your area. So now Advocates Act, they asked for amendment and they asked for the public opinion on that. Why can't you conduct a very small, one teacher to read the act, make into PPT, present it to the students, let discuss, 2-3 recommendations we'll make. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it may, we worked on it. Whether it is accepted, rejected, whatever it may. See, we cannot put we cannot take ourselves very serious. Yes, we do our job and forget. That's what Krishna has said now, Lord Krishna, that karm karte jao, phal ki chinta mat karo. So this is my college, VM Sargaonkar College of Law. So what we do is permanent community legal aid cells. That is first one. We run 25 permanent legal aid cells all over Goa. They are situated in panchayats, temples, church, and every weekend students go sit there for 3 hours and plan out for a campaign, survey, and then because see, you cannot expect a client to come to you every day, every week, and then with the campaign, with the survey, they find out what are the local problems and they take up those local problems and go to the relevant authorities. So one cell found the local problem is bus transportation. They made a representation in the RTO. RTOs, because in Goa we have private buses, we don't have government services. So the RTO said, yeah, on holidays buses don't come to the village because nobody is traveling. It's a loss for them. So the cell members, what they did is they brought the RTO and the bus owners and the public at one place. And there was a discussion. So then finally what was agreed is that there will be a bus, but the bus number of buses on holidays would be cut down by half. So there was an achievement. And there was one person who was, I think Airtel was the time it was trying to put up a pole in a village. They objected because they had a feeling that the radiation from the pole would cause them some diseases. So we called the authority. Authority said permission is given. Villagers were worried about their health. We called the Airtel officer. They explained there's no such thing happens there. And that is beneficial because you'll get a good connectivity. So that is because it is completely localized. Please remember, each legal aid cell is an organism in itself. It doesn't take instructions from the college, because when they conduct the survey, they know the problem and they work accordingly. As a college, what we do is we supervise whether work is being done or not. So we look into the results, but otherwise we don't guide them. Okay, you do program on consumer rights. Why should they do program on consumer rights? If they don't feel that that's the problem, they will not do it. Paralegal services is another area where we do a lot of work. Like I was mentioning about the senior citizens card and other cards. Public interest litigations till now. If I take you to that slide, I'll explain to that. Then we have law clubs. Law clubs are basically for educational purpose. Society is not directly benefited from that. Then we have these law clinics. Now this is an outcome, basically diversion from the legal aid cells. Legal aid cell was started in the year 1998. It's almost 27, 28 years we are running these cells. Some cells we start, some we close down because students don't travel from that village anymore. Then the membership dwindles, then we close that cell. Another place, students join the college, so we start cell there. So we have actually, by now we must have started around 70 to 80 cells, but we don't cross 25. We close one and open another. And I tell you that the villagers miss those cells because they are beneficiaries in one or the other way of these work of these students. Then from 2014 onwards, maybe after 22 years or maybe 18 years, we started law clinics. So we graduated from legal aid cell to law clinic. Now what happens in the law clinic is, these are subject specific clinics. Child rights clinic, they work on child rights only. So they are associated with JJ board, Juvenile Justice Board, and we have children's court in Goa, established under Goa Children's Act. So they are associated with these two institutions and they operate in connection with those two institutions. And Child Rights Clinic is doing excellently well. And these clinics, the work of the clinic was recognized by UNSW, University of New South Wales, and one big bunch of students and teachers from Australia. They traveled to India to study our legal aid cell and the clinic, Child Rights Clinic. And we also went there, or 2 teachers and around 14 students went there and tried to understand their style of functioning so that we can learn from each other. Consumer clinic is another one where we are really doing well. Prison clinic, it's not a permanent clinic because whenever the state decides to conduct a pardon or remission, we are asked to do the research. So we meet the prisoner who is eligible for remission. We meet his cellmates. We meet the prison authorities. We meet the victims. We meet the victims' relatives. We meet the accused, the convict's relatives, and then prepare a holistic report and submit whether what is to be done, whether the remission should be given or not. Now, this is done by the student. Please remember, this is done by the students. Imagine the experience a student might be getting when he meets victim's daughter, son, and they tell that whenever he got a parole, he came to our house and threatened us, and he is going to get remission. So we have to write a report on that, on his behavior during parole. So these are all experiences which students carry with them and which enriches them. Center for Rights of Persons with Disabilities is one cell which is doing very well because they work in close association with Commission of Disability Rights. And then Center for Rights of Older Persons, it is working. It's a very latest center, and they work on senior citizens, and that is working in association with a few NGOs, and they have done a very. They are undertaking a very good research work on living will, because that's a living will is one something which is very much important for senior citizens. This is the Goa map, and wherever we have marked, these are the legal aid cells that we have spread out all over Goa. And as our college is situated in northern part of the Goa, most of the cells are situated in the northern part. And you can see the coastal line where Arabian Sea is there. We have cells along the coastal line. Their challenges are different. We have cells in the urban centers. We have cells in the deep inside Western Ghats. And those cells have a very different challenges, because the literacy level, education level, knowledge of law, everything is very different from the coastal part of villages. So we have many India within India. We have Bharat, many Bharat within Bharat. So that is something which we understand when we look at that. One cell has gone out of Goa. You can see that we are marked outside, because that time we were getting students from Maharashtra. So we had one legal aid cell in Maharashtra. That was a very successful venture. And when students passed out, it worked for maybe 7-8 years. Then the number of students coming from that part of Maharashtra reduced. So we shifted existing students to another cell. So one thing which I learned from this the legal aid experience is success is not permanent. Great cell which had done miracles had to be closed down. A cell which was continuously crippled and which was working under the support of other cells still continues to work. This all depends upon the luck, because nothing is in our hand. So this is a permanent community cells. You have to find a place first, spread the information, keep the students working there. But again, please remember, just because it's been done in Goa doesn't mean it is possible in your institutions also. You have to understand the strength of your institution. I'll tell you, the strength of my institution is I get all students from the local community. They speak local language. And when they run the community cell, I give you an example of Sukkur legal cell. 15 students, all 15 students coming from Sukkur. When they knock the door of a house, the person opening the door recognizes these children. So therefore, that the acceptance level is very high. Same thing I can't expect from a national law school. First of all, the language barrier. Second, cultural barrier. So you may not be able to do what we are doing, but definitely you can work because your strengths are different. So you have to identify your strength and accordingly work on this legal aid. So these are public interest litigation. I said, no, we have the college. My college has filed 22 successful public interest litigations at Mumbai High Court. Because simple issues like use of helmets onwards, we have even touched upon violation of CRZ, and there we succeeded. We were instrumental in raising down 2 hotels which violated CRZ. Construction of ramp for disabled persons. Now that's a very important PIL, and when the PIL was passed, court passed order, government was very unhappy. But within a year, they won the most disabled friendly state of in India. So when they won the award, credit was not given to us, but they blamed us for putting additional burden on them. Parking space, that's a major issue in Goa. Sanitation is another very important PIL where we insisted on, because ours is a tourist destination. So Sulabh Shauchalaya has to be built everywhere. That we took care of. Constitution of JJ Board and Constitution of State Human Rights Commission. When the chairman of the commission was called as the chief guest, he asked, I am standing here because of one of your students. Do you know who is that? And from the crowd, one student stood up. Then he asked, what is your name? She said, I am Savita D'Souza. I said, thank you very much. You filed a PIL and the court issued a direction and state appointed a state human rights commission. And they chose me to be the commissioner, the chairman of the commission. And it was such a pleasing moment that when someone recognizes the student for doing that work. So illegal stream farming is it's a very important, one more important PIL where they make the seawater enter the land and they farm the shrimps there. And once the seawater leaves that place, that land becomes uncultivable because of salinity. And shrimp farming became a major destructive force in the coastal area because most of the land became uncultivable. So there the case was filed and the directions were issued by the court. Consumer clinic, we have filed 25 cases. Most of them are successful, not, I can't say all. And one case is pending. And most importantly, we get repeat clients. One client who had a problem with the mobile, we won the case for him. Then he came back to us with a family issue. And third time he came back with his service issue. So we get repeat clients in this matter. And that's actually a proof of satisfied customers. These are the few pictures where the students are providing an exhibition of their work under each legal aid cell. So if you look at the second picture, on top it is written Kortalim legal aid cell. That Kortalim legal aid cell doesn't function anymore. We had to close it down. This is a legal literacy program happening in a hall, in the school. Then we have a campaign, we have a rally, street plays played by the students. Now, these are the old pictures. All of them are professionals now. Some of them are judges. So some street plays are in the market area, some are on the beach. And based on that area, they change the language. Some places they use Hindi, some places they use Konkani. This is in the school, the street play. We had an association with Metamorphosis, that is an NGO who trained our students in making cartoons. And through cartoons, we tried to give legal education. That was a very good experiment and very good experience also. But again, problem is when the student pass out, the talent pass out. And we had to again find a new talent. So this is a community empowerment program. This again, it was done under UNDP, where we conducted 30 one-day programs, training the panchayat members and villagers on various aspects of legal education. Door-to-door campaign is being done. The lady who is conducting the interview is a professor in the Goa University now. This is a visit to old age home. So like this, we can do a lot of things and we can inculcate a lot of good vibes about the program, the legal education. But these are the few challenges we cannot ignore. That is, a trained faculty becomes one major challenge, as well as a motivated faculty is a challenge. Infrastructure, financial aid is a challenge. Please believe me, we don't take any financial assistance from anyone. We run from the 300 rupees. I think now it must be increased to 600 rupees maybe. The fees that we collect from each student who joins my college, they have to pay 600 rupees as legal aid fees. And from that fees, we run the whole process, whole activity. 25 legal aid cells, and we conduct 25 major programs. We conduct 2 minor programs per member. So if there are 15 members in a legal aid cell, they have to do 30 minor programs every semester. It's quite a lot of work they have to do. Minor program means going to classes, delivering a lecture or conduct door-to-door campaign or a rally. All these things qualify to be minor program. And all these things are funded by the college from that 600 rupees that we collect from each student. So imagine the cost effectiveness of our activity. So when we conduct a major program means we get a speaker, maybe a lawyer or a police officer, maybe an executive. We collect the villagers, we hire a hall, and then we bring authority and public interaction. That is runs for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and that is done once. One cell does one program per year. So that means we end up with 25-30 programs in a year, and each program we spend 2,000 rupees. So students have to get sponsors. They have to get hall free, or at least chairs free, mic system free. So they really work hard in convincing the sarpanch, convincing the punch members, and we give 2,000 rupees from our side. So with that they buy snacks for and they buy one flower for the guest speaker and others, because we can't lavishly spend on legal aid. Legal aid is aid for poor, so we have to work at a shoestring budget. So we can't conduct a legal aid program in a 5-star hotel, which is actually being done by legal service authorities. Restriction on faculty representation is another major problem. Student representation is another problem. So we need to work on these challenges if we want to make it an achievable dream. So quality of students is a problem. Again, please remember, students do join a law college for various reasons. Whatever may be the reason, we need to work out, motivate them to do these things. So this is one research we had done. We had visited 7 states, and we found that maximum activities done by colleges in India are legal literacy activities. Then it goes down to legal representation as the lowest. So whatever we can do, we should involve in doing. So we cannot change the world with one action. It is a series of actions. We can't build a house instantly. It's a brick by brick we are going to build. And that's what we need to understand. Brick by brick, we bring change in the society. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. And I really appreciate your patience, because you have been captivated, held up from 6:30 onwards. And I also exceeded by half an hour. I'm extremely sorry. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I hope now I am audible.
Yeah. Now you are audible.
So there is a technical issue. I was silent. Yeah. So any last question? Any quick question you want to ask? Because already it's exceeding. People are hungry. Anything, any top of your mind related to that's the idea, and sir is an opener for every program. Let me tell you all the participants. So start with the insight, a thought process related to legal aid, not jumping upon provision of legal aid at that part. Just this, any questions, query from your side?
I think they are very
I hope
tired. And no,
yeah,
another. Where do we pay fee for exam and course certification? I think Priyank is asking second time.
Yeah, sir, I will communicate later. That's not
it will be communicated.
I keep receiving message every day. Just focus on learning. This is not a money.
But I must thank you for your all your patience. I think there are quite a lot of people are there. So if you have any question, I think the Bandhu is writing on comment. See, so first question you have to ask us. Dibandhu is asking a question that how do brick by brick build myself to be a good lawyer? See, first thing you need to understand here is sit down, write down what you want to be. So that's one question you are answering. Once you answer that question, then comes the second question. What you should do to achieve that dream. So then make a list and one by one, continue to do those things. What is required to become your dream? So it is, if I tell you that you should study for 6 hours a day to become a good lawyer, you will not be able to do it because you are not understood it. For that, you need to realize what is required to be done. See, I want to be a good lawyer cannot be a dream. You have to choose the area, which area you want to be. To choose the area, you should choose some exposure first. So do internship under criminal law, do internship on civil law, one corporate internship, whichever you like, that becomes your area. So from there, you can start working on it. See, Hirawati is saying, if you are able, no, why you are asking for a branch in Bangalore? You start, we will guide. Kalpesh is there, I am there. So we will guide you in starting. No, don't worry. We can work out. See, this is what I expected from my lecture. At least some of you will think and feel helpless that I cannot do it here. So that helplessness, please hold on to that. You will find a way. You will find a way in doing it. Because I feel Bangalore people are also very vibrant because they also respond to the social needs. See, risk management, that's one risk management, Mohammed. We are talking about one major risk that you have is a wrong advice. So you should not give a wrong advice to the clients. So therefore, our strict instruction to the student is collect information, come to us, don't advise. And that is what is to be strictly followed in all your legal aid activities. That's why I encourage students to go for rally, go for a survey. In survey, what happens is they're collecting information. And when we analyze the information, we know the local problems. And then based on that, we can provide a solution to that problem. How do we address issue on legal aid while representing clients restricted as a law student in court of law? So see, Hira is raising this issue. Now see, it is wrong to think that only court solves all the legal problems. Legal problems can be solved through ADR also. So we had a problem in one of the legal aid cell called Walpai legal aid cell. The villager, a lady came, she said, my buffaloes, cows and buffaloes, acid batteries thrown on them and their bodies burnt. So then I asked, what is the issue? Why it is, who did that? She said, my neighbor did that. So the one option is give a police complaint. Another option is to raise this issue. So what we did is, instead of doing all these things, we sent a legal notice. We have no authorization to give legal notice. We are not a lawyer, nothing, but just one post we sent. And that fellow appeared religiously. He said, so he with a folded hand. So we asked, why you did that? So they had a dispute. They had a land dispute, border dispute. And he was trying to send a message by throwing acid on animal, injuring the animal. Then when we knew the real problem, that problem could be easily handled. So we negotiated and settled the matter. Whatever the issue was there was handled. So here it is wrong to think that only court can solve the problems. We can also do it without going to court. So pro bono work compulsory. See, anything that you make it compulsory under the supervision of professor, it's a good suggestion. Akarshi, because what she's saying is we should convert internship into a legal aid where it's mandatory, working under professor and advocates, and then initially students will assist. Yes, it's properly designed also. We can try it out. But why you require it to be made as a mandatory by some Bar Council of India and other things? We can implement in your institution. And let us see how it works. And it will really work. And problem here is it all depends upon your strength as an institution. That's what I was telling. My strength in here is we all speak local language. And when we speak local language, our acceptance level is very high. We are one of them, one among them. And it doesn't happen with national hospitals. Unsecured debt settlements, family disputes, etc., can be referred to pro bono clubs of colleges. Yes. Again, again, you should understand. Don't try to be a hero. These all the problems that you have listed are such a huge problem involving mountains of emotions. Can't be handled. It's very difficult to handle these things. So what we can start with here is, instead of dealing with these problems, why can't we prepare the documents to avoid future disputes in the family? Let us say the marriage certificate. Try to get a marriage certificate. Solve the issue of threat that I'll disown you. Try to get name incorporated into land records. Form 14, Form 16. But these are all small things which solve major problems, big problems. So that's what, see, always think small, think practical. See, financial help for advocate and how to address this. Please remember, when I send my students to the senior advocate, they're not going to an advocate as a case. They are going to their own senior advocate where they are doing internship. And they ask for a legal advice. And the legal advice is, you have to file a case. So that means our job is over. We advise you file a case. And the case is filed, it's between advocate and the client. College, our role ends there. Our role ends in advice. With that, we don't go further. We will proceed further if it doesn't involve cost, like maybe some xeroxing and other costs, that can be handled. Kalpesh, somebody's name is not there. Handle that.
Yeah, I will see, sir. So I think, sir, we should
Wind up.
Otherwise, it will go to 10 p.m. because again, so many experience. I would say one of the
Kalpesh, you can always collect these questions. I can always come back, and if at all time permits, some other time when session gets over early, then I can always come and clarify those doubts.
Yeah, sir. So I'm just taking a baton from you, and so I'll be talking tomorrow, second day.
Okay. Oh, you are okay. Tomorrow you are speaking.
So yeah, so I'll be taking baton from you and talking tomorrow, sharing some little experience in legal aid. So thank you very much, sir, again for opening legal aid program, and successfully, I would say, 5th edition, fortunately. And then good, I would say, the responses we are getting, like, as you know, Dr. Hardik stated, like when we launch, because people want exciting program, insolvency, bankruptcy, competition act, air and space law, maritime law. So these are the corporate law. These are the very again fancy and appealing program. But again, people are there, they take up this course. So once again, sir, thank you very much for sparing valuable time and insights, and then look forward to see you in future session. Thank you, sir. Sir, one request, sir. Sir, you are a host, so you have to end meeting. Sorry, it happen automatically. So right side, sir.
I will do it. I will do it. I have to end the meeting
yes,
now.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, by default, you become host, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Meeting end for all, sir.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.